Whakaaro Charitable Trust. This report basically just sets out some time frames. Okay. We'll get Miss Gilbert to... it really, you should just be taking it as read, I would think. It really just asks us to agree with the extension of the time frames that have been virtually impossible to meet. And it appears that the Minister of the Environment needs to be advised, etc., and kept in the loop. So there is a suggested resolution on the on the back page that we extend the date by which the Waikato River Joint Management Agreement must be enforced to 31st of June 2013, obviously to get all the ducks in a row, and that we endorse the letter to the Minister of Environment set on the 24th of January from Council and the Trust. Moved. Downard, second. Somebody over here, Councillor Johnson. All those in favour? Aye. Carried. Councillor Williams, where did she go? Okay. Right. Agenda item number 11 is council appointments to other organisations. There appears to be a couple of gaps in our system, which we need someone to be appointed to Bike Taupo Incorporated, someone to be appointed to Tirohanga Settlers Association, and we need deputy positions to Lake Taupo Liaison Subcommittee and the Upper Waikato Catchment Liaison Subcommittee, and the Mangakino Safer Community Group be removed from the schedule. So, Bike Taupo Incorporated. Do you want to speak to this?
No, I think you've said it very well. So this is just really a tidy up of
we're just tidying up our bookwork. So, Councillor Crate.
Yes, I already go. Yes.
Seems to me like a fairly natural progression,
Yes,
sir.
okay.
So if my fellow councillors agree, we'll put you in, how unusual, into the Bike Taupo Incorporated. Tirohanga Settlers Association, well, it's up to you guys, but I would have thought that Councillor Truman would have been, and I'm sure she would accept.
Meetings.
Huh?
She has been attending those meetings.
So can we make that a fact?
No ward.
Man. And if you're watching, Kirsty, thank you very much. Deputy positions are appointed to the following organisations: Lake Taupo Liaison Subcommittee. Who is our actual person at the moment? Is it you? Or was it?
Councillor Henderson.
Henderson, I think.
Sorry?
I think it's
Councillor
Rob
Henderson.
Yes.
Councillor Henderson. So we need a deputy to Councillor Henderson if he can't make it. Yep.
I'd be keen. I've got a very light load, so I'd be very keen to take that.
Okay. All happy? Councillor Williams. Upper Waikato Catchment Liaison Subcommittee. This is a deputy again, isn't it?
Yes, Councillor Minchin's.
Councillor Minchin's on it at the moment, but a deputy to him.
Yes.
Happy, Councillor Williams? Sold. Okay, so that's the suggested resolution, and of course part number 3 was that the Mangakino Safer Community Group be removed from the schedule. Is there a reason for that, Ms. Jake?
Sorry. It's just that group isn't meeting anymore, and it's basically defunct, so there's no reason for it to be on the schedule.
Okay. Move it.
Your Worship.
Yes.
Just before you move on.
Yep.
Do you think, is anybody willing to perhaps replace me on the Taupo Citizens Advice Bureau? Please.
Okay, well, before we move that, right, let's go through there. Just have a scan through the page, and we'll Councillor Pickling has asked if somebody would replace him on the Taupo Citizens Advisory Board, is it? Councillor
Bureau.
Bureau. What sort of workload's that got? What sort of, give a bit of an overview?
Look, it's for an hour at what is it, 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock, but it's on a Wednesday.
Oh, the gosh.
We're on webcam, Your Worship.
Yes.
Is that?
So it messes the whole day up just for an hour for me.
Yeah, and how often do they meet?
Once a month.
Once a month. Okay,
And
have we
Rex
got a
is on
volunteer?
there. I don't know whether really it needs two councillors to be perfect.
Who else is on there, Councillor?
Rex.
I don't mind being on there. I mean, I only gave it up just because I did 3 years and just give another councillors a chance. But I don't mind being on there. I think it does need 2 because a lot of times 2 can't make it. So yeah.
Well, I'd appreciate that, Mark.
And you've done 3 years, so you've got an experience of it.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
So unless somebody else wants to put their hand up, happy.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Thanks,
can you incorporate
Mark.
that into the resolution, please? You have to go back to the resolution. And is there anything else on this page that people want to come off or go on or
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Nicola's just said that she'd like to go on it, and I have done 3 years. I mean, I don't mind. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm happy if Nicola wants to go. Cause,
you guys?
Yeah, is that okay?
You guys?
With it,
Yeah.
Rex?
Change that.
It's Rex up. Rex is on it.
Yeah, I'm on
Yes.
there.
Big cheese.
Well, it gives you one of one of each sex, so that's good balance. So change that to Williams
A great bunch of people.
for that one. Right, can we move on from there, please, team, and just scan down through the list what you're on, what you're not on. Does anybody else want to be changed around mid-term in this triennium? I just turned a page here. Is Seamus O'Sullivan still on the EGLT?
June, isn't he?
So who's on here now? Because this needs correcting too.
Mr. Chairman, that is Jeff Thorpe has replaced that, and you already have a resolution that replaces Jeff Seamus with.
So this is a typo.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we need to say. Typo. Kitty Barra is Maggie down the back there, and Gary Kibana. Okay, well, if nobody else wants it to be changed from anything, that's fine. Then the resolution will be as it reads, including that going to Citizens Advice Bureau, Councillor Williams will
Councillor
replace
Williams
Councillor
replace
Hackler.
Councillor Hackler on the Taupo Citizens Advice Board.
Okay, if we could have a mover. Move, Councillor Downard. Seconded, Councillor Minster. All those in favour? Aye. Move. Thank you very much. Council, agenda item number 12, council engagements. Meeting dates.
So you've got a new sheet.
Oh yes, we have.
Been
Sorry.
handed out, please.
Okay, you've got an addendum, a handout. So just disregard the one in the agenda, please. Scan your.
The 11th for Zone 2 is a Sunday, is it?
Yeah. It's a Sunday.
Zone 2's never held on a Sunday, so it's always a Friday.
The 11th is a Sunday.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'll be attending Zone, or will I, or mine Timaru? That's the wrong date. What's it say in the agenda?
Whereabouts is it, Your Worship? Waitomo.
Well, the date is either the Friday before, which would be the 9th. Somebody could go and check that. Can you get someone to go? Cheryl, can you look that up in your gooseberry? Friday night, I thought it was. Thank you. Friday the 9th, is that the day I'm away? Okay, so I'm attending Zone 2. Friday night's Waitomo. Does anybody want to attend? I normally take one person with me if somebody else wants to attend. It's only a day, isn't it? Only a day meeting, so there and backer. Anybody else? Councillor Craig?
I'm pretty light, and I've been to the others, yeah, so I'm willing to go.
Really only a talk fest, but
Yeah.
it's a meet and greet and get to know and share and care, for want of a better word. Okay, that's cool. Moving down now, council workshop Tuesday the 13th. That will take place 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. on that same day, a special purpose ordinary council to adopt the draft LTP to go out to consultation. Economic development briefing, development contributions, we're talking about draft waste management and minimisation plan. That should give Gary and Co enough time to get back down to Turangi for TT board. Monday 19th of March, citizenship ceremony. You're all welcome to attend if you wish. Tuesday 20th of March, council workshops. They're closed again and confidential. Regional collaboration with Waikato Regional Council. This next one, Council Te Joint Management Group, still to be advised, isn't it?
The date's correct, we're just not sure about the time.
So that will happen on Wednesday 21st of March? Yes. Time is an issue? Yep. Preferably afternoon. Mangakino Pouakani, I presume Kirsty's happy with that. Lake Taupo Protection, that's fine. Council workshops Tuesday, which is your full council meeting. Waikato Regional Council Roadshow presenting their long-term plan to us. Animal Health Board, and again the Waikato Regional Council on Air Quality. And those times are there, but they may get changed around. but they will happen in one order on that day. And of course, council meetings that day and TAA committee, PTO, please change over, please turn over. This provides the opportunity for council to approve either prior or retrospectively council attendance at conferences and professional development courses as provided for in our TDC Code of Conduct, and we have no applications from councillors to date. Requests, we have the Taupo Fishery, I know, wanting to come in and do a discussion with us, and it's very important that we see them as soon as possible. I know what they've got in store. They are wanting to do an independent study of the condition of the fishery, etc. So I would like to see them fitted in as soon as possible. That would be a presentation as an agenda item, Ms. Jakes, yes?
If it's just stock you're talking about?
Stock at the moment, Taupo Fishery, yeah.
Yes, that could be a
So
presentation.
would that be agenda item number 1 for March meeting?
No, March meeting is...
April, sorry.
March meeting is pretty full in terms of presentations.
So that'll be April?
April.
Mr. Chairman,
yes?
can I make a suggestion? If they are looking for some assistance, then it probably is better that it actually comes through the LTP as a submission.
Well, I'm probably being a little bit naughty saying that, but I know they're wanting to come in and form some partnerships. We have a new conservator, and of course there's a lot of issues going on in Dock with moving here to Taupo with their head office and that. So I would like to see first off a presentation, and then a where to from there is probably the right thing to do. So I'm preempting what they were going to say, so I withdraw what I said, but they want to come and do a presentation, and I think it's a good one. So if we could have that agenda item number 1 in April, yeah. And then we move on to Kathy Wilson, Taupo Debrett's representing holiday parks in the Taupo region, Freedom Camping and Ferry Road. Now I've read this 5 or 6 page prelim, for the want of a better word. I think that this is an issue that should be workshopped, and I'm putting it out to you as my fellow councillors, and I would respectfully ask Mr McLeod or Mr Williams, could they give us, or could they set up a workshop, get their staff to set up a workshop with the relevant affected people, and we workshop this issue. So it looks like they all agree with me, so if we could do that, and we'll have that as a workshop, and if you'd like to just circle us around somehow through the emails or something, and get everybody together, that'll be a workshop item. A workshop has to hear from all that are concerned, including, I would actually like to hear from our gardeners, reserves people as to the state of things and whatnot. So I'm sure you as staff know, and Mr Williams know how to set up a workshop.
Mr Chairman, I would be suggesting that that would probably happen in April rather than March, given
Whenever
that...
it happens. I'm just suggesting we have a workshop. We are at your beck and call. You set it up, we'll be there. And of course you'd have to check with Ms Wilson that a date suits her as well. So if that's all okay, then I would ask that someone move the meeting dates be received, and that the following workshops and presentations be approved as we just discussed. Moved, Councillor Johnson, seconded, Councillor Hickling. All those in favour? Aye. Thank you. Moving now to members' reports, and I'll start. Oh, I don't want to hear about whakaaro.
No, neither do I.
Okay, it's good to see you back anyway, Councillor Hickling, and
Thank you.
and being able to eat proper kai is a bonus.
Real bonus.
So I'll move on to... Oh, let's see... Sorry?
No, nothing to report.
Oh, that's Anna's report. Yeah, I'll move on to Councillor Williams.
Just a few matters. Chaired by Councillor Darnard, attended the Rural Design Guidelines submissions hearing, which was, I think, went well. And also, 2 weeks ago, Dylan Tahoe chaired the International Committee's meeting. It wasn't actually a formal meeting, it was more that he was presenting to committee members as to what council may expect from their investment. And out of that meeting came a wish to have a public meeting, which I think Dylan is currently going to coordinate. So there wasn't any sort of resolution on the way forward made there, although there was some quite good discussion. And then lastly, attended as your representative the Lake Taupo Festival meeting, Trust Board meeting in end of January, and just very pleased to report that the program will be launched on the 15th of March for the festival, the Festival, and the dates are the 10th to the 20th of May, and there's a very good program which is now being printed. And also there's a day coming up, and I'm just trying to check my diary, but it's the end of March, which is the Big Day Art, and it's a concept whereby local organisations, clubs, arts groups, dance groups have been asked to participate and showcase their work to the community, and it will be held at the Great Lakes Centre. No doubt I'll circulate you with the email, but I think it's going to be a wonderful event for the community and for the region. So that's all I've got to report.
Councillor Williams, sorry?
10th of March, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Councillor Williams. Councillor Downard?
Yeah, I suppose this has been our first full council since the Christmas period, and one of the main things I'd like to say is congratulate Gareth and his team for all the events that we've had over the Christmas period. I think Taupo has been a huge beneficiary of everything that's happened in Taupo, from the Riverside Park concert to the work that's been done to get the ice skating, to small clubs like the HSV club, allowing them to use car parks, and just everything that's gone over the Christmas period. A lot of events that we've all attended, so yeah, I'd like to congratulate the council staff and everything they've done. I attended the first Sports Advisory Council meeting a couple of weeks ago, and one of the main things that was brought up in that is that with the sports house, there is more pressure being put onto them through facilitating different sports around our community, of their wishes and their problems and stuff like that. And hats off to Mark O'Callaghan and the team down there. They're doing a fantastic job. I just mentioned, or Keith mentioned to me, that we may foresee in the future maybe starting an ad hoc committee just to address some of these things that might need addressing. What's happening with the Kaimana Reserve, how we had plans of doing that. The cricket number one, New Zealand Cricket Council, I know, approached me, and I had discussions with them about getting the number two cricket ground on the another cricket ground on number 2 field, so they can have 8-team tournaments instead of 4. Things like the roller skating girls, joining them with maybe something else that they can go and practice. So there's all those sorts of things that are just slowly creeping in without the Owen Delaney subcommittee now, sports ground. But yeah, just to say that they're doing a fantastic job, that sports house, and hats off to John Ridd, also helping out with that, facilitating that too as well. So yeah, that's about all.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Downard. I don't mean to chip you or be rude or anything like that, but I would like to point out that Will Samuel's in charge of all the events that come to Taupo, so kudos to you as well as to Mr. Green, and of course Mr. Reader works for Will. It was at the back of the room there, so
yeah,
I'm sure you meant
council staff. I mean everyone,
That's cool.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all cool. Teamwork, good stuff. Councillor, I'll come back to you, Councillor Craig. You got a lengthy one, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, only take about 3/4 of an hour.
Could you do it on your own? I'll just interrupt this side of the table. As you know, Councillor Kirk's had to go and look after our new addition to Taupo. Wants it recorded that 9th of February she heard the submissions to the Rural Subdivision Design Guidelines. 20th of February, Emergency Management Committee. 24th of February, Lakes District Health Board Community Health Forum. Actually, I was supposed to do that today, retrospectively perhaps, but Councillor Kirk should be actually appointed to that lake because she's not actually officially appointed, if I remember rightly, and I got her to go along So if it's not, would you please have it done? Yeah, thank you. It's a pity she wasn't here because they did make big announcements that Friday, and I was party to it, that the extensions to the hospital are starting on July 1. The big plans, in fact, they're in my office. Everybody wants to see them. They've been changed around a bit, the big plans and what have you. So regardless of land sales, etc., if you're out in the public, the hospital does start July 1. And if you've got any other questions, Councillor Kirk is on that committee now. So, yep, all good. So, Councillor Johnson?
No, I've got nothing to report.
You just worked your butt off all year.
All summer.
Everywhere I go, you've cooked me a meal.
Yeah.
Councillor Kepper? Councillor Minchuk?
A couple of bits and pieces. The interest Upper Waikato catchment was very interesting. It's obviously to do with land conversion and things like that. It's quite interesting to sit on. And a judge made a ruling on the water take, I think it was, to do with the water that can be taken from the river above, I think, Karapira. And that was quickly snapped up, applied for by Waikato Pastoral, Wairaki Pastoral, which is got to go through a few challenges, but also the price of the carbon credits is still holding back land conversion. That's still the biggest barrier. So the water's becoming the gold. So that's big in the whole district. Also, obviously, attended the first meeting with Te Awa River Trust, which was interesting. Roger Pickett and his team can work well together. I think that's good. It is obviously a way forward with the river as well, part of the management. Once again, the water being the resource. Also, went to the launch campaign of destination marketing, as well as a brainstorm with the tourism destination marketing as well. Fritz and the whole team, I think Will might have been there. And just following up on what Mike said, on both of those events, as much as it's still tough out there, that was totally upbeat compared to a year ago. A year ago, you wouldn't have got a smile out of the room, whereas this time, marketing, it's got a copy here that's coming out. Everyone's on the same page. People are really starting to enjoy the brand, etc. A lot of confidence in the team, through from the Chamber of Commerce, Townsend and Taupo, everyone that's been at these events. There's a lot of confidence in the brand of basically Taupo going forward. So it's really good, along with what Fritz was saying earlier. So that's where mine finishes off.
Okay, well, Councillor Crate wants to give you a snapshot report of the cycling and walking conference he attended in Hastings last week. So, Councillor Crate.
Yeah, thanks.
And he's also handed you out a bullet point.
And just like to endorse before getting on what Mike said about the atmosphere over Christmas with the ice rink and all what happened on the domain just around here. I thought it was a great buzz around the whole place. Just been on mobility group. I've attended the same destination, Lake Taupo forums as Rex, home of cycling once again, an international along with Nicola, and trying to get this bike park organised, which is part of what Mike said about all the groups merging together to look at how we're going to use our recreational areas. Now, I had an interesting week last week. I spent all week either opening with a group opening these these cycleways, and then I went to this cycling and walking conference, and then I was lucky enough to go to Rod Stewart and sit there in the pouring rain. So it was an interesting week.
While Rod was on?
He was.
Never rained while Rod Stewart was on stage.
Well, not while he was on, but it was just leading up to it. You're dead right. He timed it perfectly. Timed it perfectly, yeah. Just like to say, this is the first cycling and walking conference ever held in New Zealand, and basically the whole theme of it was more health and environmental, to get people out of cars. It wasn't anything to do with events or elite cycling and anything like that. So it was an interesting 4 days, and a lot of us all cycled around Hastings. The key points I'd like to just mention, first of all, I won't go over all these, but just to say that cycling and walking is a feature of any transport planning, and this came up with all the different, there were 13 different groups represented at this conference, going from police, CAN, Bike New Zealand, event organisers, New Zealand TA, and that came up that cycling and walking must be a part of any future transportation. The beneficiaries of that $7 million model communities that we missed out on, that was Hastings and New Plymouth, and the conference was held in Hastings, had much to showcase for their efforts. They've got cycleways all over the place, signage, all different cycling schemes, and it's just buzzing in Hastings, and the same with New Plymouth. They're asking for another 7 million so they can finish it, and we've only got any chance of any advancement in our commuter cycling and our cycleways and signage if NZDA come up with another package. I mean, we've only got, I think in the budget there's something like 19,000 to spend on making our town cycle friendly. If I look at the bullet points down there, the number one is the most important one. Collaboration is going to bring results, and breaking down silo thinking. That came over all the way through. It's no good different organisations all working in isolation. We've all got to work together for the common theme. And there is inconsistency at the moment. Bullet point 2. The main benefit of cycling and walking is health. It saves millions and millions of dollars of unhealthy people. Obesity is increasing, as we all know. Heart conditions and dementia, I didn't believe, but that's increased by sedentary living. Future-proofing is going to be a part of any, and to reduce carbon emissions is going to be a part of any plan. Investment in cycling and walking. Now, we had lots of information thrown at us in these 4 days, but what came out was that if you spend $1, the returns are $8, and that all accounts for the health. Not only it can be measured in terms of health saving and economic saving, because people will come to towns that are cycle and walking friendly. Christchurch rebuilt as a focus on greening the rubble. That was a good presentation. People value comfort in cycling as well as safety as a motivating factor, and that means that the bike has to be comfortable, and we don't all have to wear lycra, and we don't all have to drop handlebars and all the fancy gear. Cycle and walking is a quality of life and can become addictive. Now, that's the same with lots of sports, of course. Cycle training in schools should be a government directive. At the moment, it's all different organisations all doing this cycle training. We have got just one guy, Peter Booman, that's trying to get it in our schools, and he's meeting some success, but not the success that he should have that's sustainable. We've got to look at a 20-year plan to get people out of cars, and I'll come on to the keynote speakers in a minute. Anything that we do in cycling and walking will encounter resistance, and we've come across that in our ideas of Hugh Street straight away, and directly you start reducing car park spaces, you do get resistance. It's been proved that cycling and walking will increase with infrastructure is built, and there should be a separation of cyclists, walkers and vehicles. Some of us used to think it was the other way around. If you get more people cycling and walking, you get more infrastructure, but evidence has proved it's the other way around. This was interesting one. 40% of traffic volume in Hamilton is to and from schools. That was amazing from Hamilton. Their vision is to have the traffic volume all the same all the year round. Another interesting statistic, 50% of vehicle movement is for a distance less than 3k, and that's either walkable or cyclable. 50%. I don't know if anybody knew this. We had an interesting thing on the Panmure roundabout. Does anyone know Panmure roundabout? Well. It's apparently the biggest headache there is in Auckland.
Don't even drive around it.
No, because you can't get in and you can't get off, and it's so there's a lot of work going on. That's nothing to do with this. And the best cycling and walking cities are Portland in USA, and it's in north of USA, Copenhagen, Bristol, all Holland, and would you believe London? Boris Bikes and the mayor of London has got it into it, and there's all bikes for hire, and all these bullet points came out of the evidence of 73 odd presenters. Now the keynote speakers, Nigel Latter. Now he was entertaining. It was rather like listening to Billy Connolly. Connolly, is it? The F word was there all the time, but it wasn't on the television last night on Sunday night. But he just went on about the PC bandwagon of, why shouldn't kids take risks and climb trees and all that sort of thing. Celia Wade-Brown, she's the first Green Mayor in New Zealand. She claims that she's got the walking capital of New Zealand there. 26% of people now walk to work. They cater for every grade of transport. They've cut down the speed limit in the CBD. Lambton Quay's the busiest footpath in the nation, and there's the figures there. Incidentally, 3 different areas claim to be the cycling capital of New Zealand while we were there, and not one of them was us. Roger Geller, now that was the highlight of the whole thing. 17 years he's been champion of this place called Portland in Oregon, and he's changed the whole transportation system of this town. This town has got hills in it, it's cold in the winter, and he's got 20% of traffic increase in the town because of their growth, but only 1% is in vehicles, and they've got paths, bikeways, boulevards, corrals, bike boxes, everything you can think of that you can do with a bike. Professor Alistair Woodward, and there was the last one, and that was a compliment to our town because 2006 he carried out research on cycling safety and attitudes to cycling by women and all sorts of things from the Cycle Challenge, and he's carried on following his study about health, and he came up with a couple of interesting statistics, and that is the more people that cycle, the safer you are. Most of the casualties from cycling are caused by people on their own, not going in bunches, and you'd think it would be the opposite, wouldn't you? And he said we would save 9 lives a year if there was a 55% shift from people in cars to people either cycling or walking, and lots more statistics like that. He was complimentary to Taupo and Lake Taupo Cycling Challenge for allowing him to do it and reduce the accident rate that we have in our cycle challenge, because as you know, the start goes over 3 hours now, and as well as Mayor Wick knows, it's a long time to watch this train of people, but we have actually implemented, and he has recorded a lot of the safety to do with events. So all in all, it was a very worthwhile thing. I can only thank council, both sides of council, for letting me go. I've come back absolutely motivated, got all sorts of ideas, and I hope that we can claim at some stage to be the cycling and walking centre of our land.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Crate. Councillor Downard.
Yeah, I'd just like to, I've had quite a, last 10 days I've spent with Victoria Bike Network with their bicycle
Gisborne to Taupo,
to Taupo, and
Yeah.
the average age in that tour was and you know, you look at some of there was an 85-year-old man that did it from Australia, and just the money that or their government puts into the bike network over in Victoria and Melbourne. Like I know Bupa, which is one of the world's biggest rest home things, they put $3 million into the sponsor it. They have insurances that put money, because just as you said in that, the benefits of health and everything like that, the central government puts $1 million into that organisation as well. So it is, you know, it kind of just endorses what everything that you said there, Keith, that the benefit out of it. And these people, like, just unreal, you know, all shapes and sizes, age, ladies married and stuff like that, just cycling around New Zealand. It was fantastic to see.
So what sort of a turnout am I going to get from you guys at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Hopefully a very good one.
None for me, because I'll be working.
Okay, there's a suggested resolution, please, for agenda item number 30, members' reports. Well, it's made a point of that the report from Councillor Creighton's attendance to Walk and Cycle Conference be received, and that reports from members be received. I need a mover. Moved Councillor Hickling, seconded Councillor Williams. All in favour? Aye. I'd now like a mover, please, to move the resolution to exclude the public from the confidential section of this agenda today, please. A mover. Moved Councillor Minshew and seconded Councillor Hickling. All in favour?